Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Self-love through freedom and connection. So feel free to connect to the brave never fall on these social media platforms. If you find anything of value in this following podcast, hit that like button, subscribe and share, and support the brave and bold tribe growing one purposeful soul at a time. How are you feeling? Take a moment to do a self-check-in for yourself. How are you feeling mentally? How are you feeling emotionally? How are you feeling physically? How are you feeling spiritually? Are you feeling balanced? Are you still journeying on an intentional, purposeful path? How are you feeling? Balancing yourself is a healthy daily practice that will reliably keep you in harmony with your entire mind, body, heart, and soul. Clear your mind. Take a moment of silence for yourself right now in the moment. You are here now. How are you feeling? Your journey is yours alone. Others may join you, but they can't walk it for you. Your path, obviously, is your path. You're accountable for your own actions on your journey. For every step you take, it's your path, it's your journey. You have to only look at that as your own personal responsibility to focus on that, to focus on every single step. Are you stepping with purpose? Are you second guessing each step? And ultimately, who are you? And what do you have to offer this world? Anything that breaks away from that, any separation from that mindset, is unhealthy. It is not beneficial. It is detrimental. It will not help you to ascend to the level you want to be at. It will only hurt you. It will damage you. It will make you frustrated. It will make you regret every damn thing you think of when it comes to your life. It'll make you think of everything you did wrong instead of all the things that you thought you did right. Everything you knew you did right. All gone, wiped away, because you're not taking ownership of your own life and you're too focused on things that have nothing to do with you or your purpose. Alignment with yourself, the balance with yourself, is extremely important, because everything else is out of context if you can't get that balance correct within yourself. Everything else is exaggerated, unknown, foreign, a shadow, if you can't get a hold of yourself. So the focus with each step has to be on you and you alone. Everything else is secondary. You focus on you first, and the rest will fall into place. But that comes from a trust that you have the self-confidence and self-discipline to actually make that a reality. What others do is not your problem. Their possessions are not your problem. Their wins and losses are not your problem. Their relationships are not your problem. Not your problem is their religion. Not your problem are their family. Be drama free. There is no room in each moment you walk your journey to allow jealousy, resentment, hatred, and judgment in your mind, body, heart, and soul. Separating from others is essential if you stand unwavering upon your core values as a person of purpose. All momentum must move towards a better version of ourselves. We must not get complacent and misunderstand how much we have to give to this world. We must think bigger of ourselves. We have no purpose in jealousy of others. Self-confidence rids ourselves from jealousy. Jealousy is a pathway to resentment of others because we want what we don't understand. We don't understand how others acquire their purposeful lives, their valuable possessions, their beautiful souls, and their fulfilling relationships. Jealousy can be considered a form of selfishness, lack of self-discipline, absence of self-confidence, and our ability to empathize is compromised. Too much time, focus, and energy spent on others and what they're doing or not doing is a major stumbling block to our own development. We want big, but believe small. We frown upon those who have accomplished what we don't have in our lives. We throw shade instead of casting light upon others. Our responsibility for our own life fulfillment is a full-time job with zero days off. You already have everything you need. Mind, body, heart, and soul. We have purpose. A Ronin's Way of Balanced Energy, Episode 6, Separation from Resentment and Jealousy. Any child knows what it's like to be jealous of another child. There's not a child that has not been jealous in some way, even if it's only for a moment, of someone else having something that they don't have. And that jealousy can go from just a moment, a day, maybe, of jealousy of some of the most surface level, just obscure, who cares type of things. Someone could be jealous because in class, another kid got to leave school early that day. That's a different type of jealousy than looking at that same kid and saying, I wish I had that kid's shoes, or I wish I had that kid's family. I wish I had that kid's money. I wish I had that kid's opportunities. I wish I had that kid's confidence. I wish I had that kid's relationships he has with friends and his family. I wish I had what she has in her extracurricular activities, her social circle. When we were kids, we all remember that. We remember that feeling of looking at someone and saying, I wish I had that, and I can't do anything about it to get it. So our mind will go to the next thing. Why don't I have that? And what enters the mind is usually some type of a blame game. I could get that if my mother or my father, if you're fortunate enough to have both, would just raise my allowance. If I lived in a better neighborhood, maybe I could go to a better school. If I lived in a better town, maybe I could get a better job so I can make more money to get the things that the other kids get. Now that's going a little bit towards almost adulthood. But even when you're at the youngest age, you still look at other people and we look at them and say, damn. Even as a kid, damn, I wish I had that. And after a while, depending on what happens in your life, you're either going to break out of that mindset of that innocence of innocent jealousy where there's no malice behind it. You're just a kid. You're a young adult and you want what other people want. And you don't have all the tools necessary to do what you exactly want to do because you're still under the thumb of your parents and the people who raised you and your teachers. You're not free yet. You're learning how to become a citizen, a better person, a person of value, if you're fortunate enough again to have people who raise you that way. But that all changes once you become an adult. And suddenly, time to put all those excuses in a box and put it away. You can come back and look at what's in that box, but that box needs to be out of your life. It needs to be out of your sight because you have a lot of work to do. If you're still feeling those bouts of jealousy in your heart. If you wake up every day and the first thing you think of is what you don't have, and you dread the sight of seeing another individual because of what they do have, that is one of the most horrible things any human being can feel. Because it leaves you helpless. It makes you feel as if there's something unfair about life that counted you out. All the lightning bolts came striking down, missed everyone around you but you. You got tagged. You had to pay the price. And they say lightning never strikes twice, but guess what? You get hit again and again and again and again. How is this possible? Well, you can either whine about it or you can figure out why the hell you keep getting hit by lightning. You can figure out what is it you can change to prevent you from being hit by that lightning. Instead of looking at other people and examining what they have and what you don't have, maybe you should look at those people and examine what you have that they don't have. No one on this planet, not even the richest person on this planet, has everything. They're still missing something. Every person is missing something that somebody else right beside them has. Something valuable. So the things that you're looking at that other people don't have, chances are you have plenty inside of you that they wish they had. And unbeknownst to you, this person may be looking at you saying, I wish I had what this person has. And that is why it's so damn important that you don't worry about what other people have. That you don't worry about their possessions. You don't worry about their relationships. You don't worry about their connections to their family. You don't worry about what grades they're getting in school. You don't worry about the raise they got at work. You don't worry about when they get married. You don't worry about the vacation they're going on, what car they drive, what house they live in, what neighborhood they live in, what country they live in. What the hell does any of that have to do with you? Nothing. You might as well take all that time and energy and put it in, go watch a movie, pick any character and say, I want what this person has. It's literally the same thing. Chances are you're not going to get what that character has, and you're not going to get what the person has next to you. What we can do is say, I like what this person has. I align with that. That is something that I know if I had it in my life would benefit me. That's all the thought you need to give to that. Now, they need to be cropped out of the picture And you need to focus on how you're going to get that damn thing. Because you already know it's possible. They have it. So you know, hey, if they could do it, I could do it. What's another word for that type of thinking? Self-confidence. Too many of us lack it. Too many of us lack the confidence to get what other people have. It's much easier to blame people for what you don't have instead of blaming yourself for what you don't have. It's much easier to look at other people and say, they're full of themselves because they got this, this, and this, and I don't have it. With newsflash, did you ever consider the possibility that maybe that person was thinking the same thing about someone else? But instead of complaining and talking about it, this individual actually went out and did it. They did what you didn't have the boldness to do. And that is put into action, into reality, something they desired. Regardless if they came up with the idea or saw it in someone else, they didn't go down the path of jealousy. They went down the path of, it's my birthright to have that as well. And I'm going to go get it. So what happens when you wait too long and you keep seeing these people that have all these things that you want in life, and you procrastinate and you put it off, and the older you get, you start getting the weight of all that time being passed with no results whatsoever. So what do we have here? We have a conundrum. You want something very bad, but you're not doing anything to get it. That is self-discipline in the wrong direction. That is you not taking ownership of your own desires, what your birthright is, what is supposed to bring you peace and joy. Because maybe behind what that person had, you know, it's going to take a great deal of work, and that is not going to come easy. So that process, even if you jot it down, that is going to be a goal for me next year. You get to next year and you're in month 7, 8, 9, and you haven't even done anything to remotely come close to that goal. How do you think that makes you feel? That's where we get into resentment. And resentment can go all over the place. Resentment is a metropolis highway. You can be resentful for so many things that it actually starts to end up you self-loathing. And not only self-loathing, but you start loathing everything. Everything is a problem. Now suddenly you're adding drama into your life. It's just a simple little innocent thing of jealousy can lead to resentment, chaos, and just a complete mess of a drama-filled life if it's not checked and put in place and put in that box and thrown away, and you focus on the things you have every right to go out and get. There's no reason in the world someone else could have something that you can't at least get close to having something similar, or something's going to satisfy you. And what's great about pursuing avenues that way is that doorways and pathways and connections open up that you never knew were there if you don't start. If you don't start, all those missed opportunities are going to pass you by. And you'll never know they even exist. They're just standing right in front of you like ghosts, and you can't see them. And they're doing everything in their power to get you to trust yourself enough to stand up, dust yourself off, whatever you've been through in life, and start walking. Or if you stumbled, you hit a wall, as we all do, we're all human. Time for you to restart the journey. Time for you just to get up and say, okay, I climbed that mountain and I fell on my ass afterwards. I accomplished something. I got a little full of myself, or maybe I didn't get full of myself enough. I didn't have enough confidence coming off that mountain. It's time for me to face the volcano, and I can't go over that fucking volcano by myself. You start making up all these excuses. I don't have enough resources. I used up all my resources going over the mountain. Now I got this raging volcano in front of me. It's full of chaos and there's lightning, and I've been struck by lightning 17,000 times, and this dude over here is just sitting there drinking his Gatorade, and he's fine, and she's over there jump roping, and she's fine. It's like, what the hell is going on in my life? Why do I deserve this? Now, if you take all that I just said and stick it on a movie screen, you got a theater full of people eating popcorn at your tragedy. They're enjoying and entertained by you failing, and failing in a dramatic way. Again, drama. And people are watching back and just laughing their asses off. They're judging. Should we care about them? Hell no. That's their problem. Let them eat their popcorn and watch you. They can judge, they can critique, they can laugh all they want. Their day is coming as well. So we can push them to a side and we can keep pulling over all the people that aren't doing that, that do have things that we want. And we're going to go after those things without jealousy, because we don't want to move into that realm of resentment. We don't want resentment. Resentment is a dark thing. It just really does compromise all of our empathy. It takes away everything about us that is compassionate. And what we're left with is a dark version of ourselves that is unable to forgive anyone, unable to listen to anyone, unable to look at anything with optimism, with positivity. It strips us of our courage, causes us to procrastinate, make bad decision upon bad decision upon bad decision. We're left ultimately with nothing but a dark, nasty witch's brew of a soup that nobody wants any part of. They can smell it from a mile away, and you're just sitting over there at the pot stirring that nasty shit up. What can we do to shield ourselves from jealousy and resentment? I can speak from experience because I used to have both. I grew up very jealous of other kids for all types of reasons. But if I'm going to give myself credit for anything, one of the things I never did was believe I wasn't better or as good as anyone else. I just viewed it as I want it. I'll probably never have it, but I'm going to try to get the best I can to get near it, and I'll be happy with what I have. That's not saying I never got it, because with that mindset, my mother went out usually and got it for me. It may have taken a little longer than other kids, but I eventually got it. And that's the problem. As human beings, we're so impatient. We want it right now. But what happens when you can't get it right now? You have to accept the fact that you're going to have to work towards it and wait until you can get it. And that's how we shield ourselves. We have to understand life is about patience. There are a lot of individuals out there who will openly admit that they are jealous people, that they resent others for what they have. These are grown individuals who have every single capability to get what they're wanting from other people. If you're going to have that in you, you might as well use it as motivation. You might as well go out in the world and say, hey, I have something to offer too. And if I get that other thing that I want, that's just going to make me a much more valuable person to someone, to some place, or something. I am openly and actively engaging in myself to do something that's going to make me a better person. This other person over here just gave me the spark, the ideal, the inspiration to get what I want to get for myself. There is nothing wrong with looking at someone else and saying, hey, that's awesome. I would love a version of that. But keep it at that. A version of that. Your version. And if you can do that, there is absolutely nothing wrong with looking at someone else and saying, hey, that is awesome. I'm happy for this person. And there is the line. Do you look at someone for what they have and want it and be unhappy with them or happy with them? Are you happy for their success? Are you proud of them? Do you empathize with them in a positive way? Do you understand that this person worked hard for what they got? And if they didn't work hard for it and you consider it to be luck, what the hell does that got to do with you? Be happy that they got lucky enough to get it if you believe in that sort of thing. There is no room for you to say, this person is so lucky, nothing ever happens to me. This person doesn't deserve it. This person is an asshole because they have something that I want. How does any of that make any sense? It may be completely true from someone's point of view, but it really has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with what you have or don't have in your life. And that resentment is very powerful again because we can resent ourselves. That self-loathing and resentment for ourselves leads us to be able to not even forgive ourselves for these feelings because they pile up, especially if you don't do something about it. And you go throughout your whole day looking at other people and examining what you don't have. longing for things you are not working hard to get yourself. Haven't taken the proper steps to plan, prepare, set the goal, and execute the plan. You see failure in a cloud of dust in front of you. It's not reality, it's a mirage. You see failure because you don't trust yourself. It doesn't matter what's ahead of you. The goal is to get started and get towards as close as you can to that goal as possible, because there are so many benefits along the way that you're going to pick up and put inside of your satchel and carry with you. And you're going to always feel so much better doing that than standing around twirling your thumbs and hoping that your lucky box is going to fall from the sky. That a giant helicopter with the words hope written on the side of it is going to come with a giant crate and drop it off in front of you, and you're going to get to dig in there and get everything you want out of life. That's never going to happen. It's never going to happen. That saying, life is what you make of it, is absolutely true. If you make life out to be some kind of a song and dance, drama-filled session of they have what I don't, that couple has what me and my relationship doesn't have, that coworker has what I don't have, that pastor has what I don't have, that person's driving the car that I don't have, this person over here's bank account and tax bracket is different than what I have. We can only imagine day after day after day what that type of stacking would do for yourself. You got to unpack all of that and examine it and understand why they're there. And what can you do to turn every single one of those into a positive? Because they all can be turned into a positive. Again, being inspired by people is very powerful. We need to be inspired by people. We need people to look up to. We need mentors. We need coaches. We need role models. We need them from a very young age to teach us the right things about, I have things that I want you to have, but I want you to go through the steps to get them as I did. Not, I want you to have what I have. Here's a giant crate. And if that doesn't do it for you, the helicopter with the big bold letters of hope will be flying around again tomorrow and drop you off another crate just to make life easy for you. That's called fantasy land. That's not called reality. We have to get out of the mindset that just because you're inspired by someone, that it's going to turn out the exact same way for you. I always say, just get on the path. Get on the path of whatever direction you see that person went. You try to mimic it as best you can. And you're going to find somewhere along the way, your unique pathways will open up for you. And you will look at that person and say, you inspired me to do something, but I actually like this version of what I'm doing a little bit better than yours. Why does that work out like that? It works out because you're more aligned with that. If you're looking at it the right way, you're going to find something that is more in tune and lined with you and who you are. Because you'll never be able to do what someone else did exactly. You can take the blueprint, you can walk the steps, you can go down the same path, but there are things that are going to happen to you that are completely different than what those other individuals went through. Even though you are all heading towards the same direction, perhaps with even the same goal in sight. The motivation and inspiration that they give you should be focused in the direction of, I know I can get this stuff and more. Not just get it, but what's going beyond that. What is the purpose of a goal if you reach it and you don't do anything afterwards? There has to be something beyond that. But the most important thing is, especially when I used to feel this way when I was younger, I don't want to think about what other people have and me wanting it. I just want it for myself. And it can't always be material things. It can't be always things that you know, another person, like your goal is to be in a great relationship. There's too many factors that are out of your control to really make that a goal. Your goal should be focused on things that strictly you can control 100%. 100%. Those are the steps that you take. All the steps of ownership that you have to take for yourself that require no outside assistance. that require no motivation or inspiration other than that initial spark. You should be able, after that, if it's steeped in values and you're standing on that and you have a purpose, you should be able to take that purpose and be more than motivated. You don't need any more than that. Any more than that is too much. It's a scramble of focus. You can focus on many different things. This is worse than multitasking. This is you saying, I want that, and I'm going to try to get it all at once. When you don't even know how to get the one thing that started it all in the first place. It's that mindset. Got to get inside of that mindset that it's not about other people. It's not about what other people have, what possessions they have, what relationships they're in, what jobs, what cars. It doesn't matter. What matters is you can get up every single day, just grounded, just superiorly grounded in who you are, full of value, led by your values, motivated by what you know you can get. Courage from knowing that you may fail, but you're going to do it anyway. Damn it, that's what life is all about. It's about those things. It's not about looking at other people and wanting what they have. It's not about resenting other people because they didn't help you the way you thought that they should help you, that they didn't help you get all the knowledge to get what they had. You call them selfish because they have knowledge that you haven't earned from them. Again, taking, and not giving. What do you have to give? You got to give something up, baby. You can't just sit back and say, I want it all for myself. Got to have equal value. You got to have equal value. And when the time comes for you to acquire that thing that you were so jealous of these other people about, when the time comes for you to rid yourself of resentment from other people because you don't think it's fair that these people have what you don't have, when you get out of the victim's mentality and you start going into a place of ownership for yourself, it'll never be as sweet as if you don't do it that way. If you go another route, it won't be as sweet. It just won't be. You have to do it with that mindset of ownership of who you are, your birthright, what you can contribute, your uncompromising purpose. That's all the focus should be. Anything else is going to lead you towards chaos and drama and pain and heartbreak and failure. You want success, your own version of it. You can mirror other people, you can examine the blueprints, but ultimately you're the one who has to walk that walk, and you're the one who has to reach that goal. You're the one who has to acquire all your resources. You have to recognize the important people in your life and get rid of the people that are toxic. You got to do all the work to shape and mold the life you want. And that comes from inside of you first. Has nothing to do with all these people around you. They're just distractions. We can look, we can be motivated, we can be inspired. But we, each individual, has to act. Otherwise, all of that is just wasted time. Wasted opportunities, wasted relationships, wasted job opportunities, a wasteful life. The clock is ticking. Are you spending more time observing other people and what they're doing? Or are you taking all that focused energy and putting it into your action, your execution of the things you need to do to reach your goals? If you had a goal in place for this year and you haven't reached it, you got to ask yourself why. You have a relationship that's not so great, and you or the other person is at blame, you got to ask yourself why. What part did you play in that? If things around you are crumbling, you lose your job, you lose your car, there's always a reason. And it's not just one big thing. There was a set of things that was set in self-discipline in the wrong direction that led up to that one big crossroads level event. There's always a path of mistakes that you made, of things that you missed, of not taking ownership of who you are, that led up to that one thing that made you go back and say, damn, I really messed up. And now you're in resentment land. You're resentful, you're jealous of other people because they didn't fall and they didn't stumble. And it's a vicious cycle to get into. It's a deadly, vicious, ugly cycle to get into as a human being, because there is no upside to jealousy or resentment. You have to separate yourself from all that. You have to separate yourself from all these people and what they have, from all the noise. You have to separate your resentment of people and what they have, the resentment of your own life. You have to separate yourself from not forgiving yourself for all the missed opportunities. Separate from all of that. It does not have to be a part of your life. You deserve better than that. You are better than that. You can do so much better than to sit around and hope and hope and hope and hope. There's nothing wrong with hope if it's used in the right way. But you can use hope to the point where it's detrimental, that it becomes a version of you that is just grounded in a person who is a victim, a person who has lost hope, but they're still reaching out for it. It's a sad set of events. It's just sad to see people fall down that well. That doesn't have to be the case. Separation from things that are negative, from people that are toxic, from situations that are breaking you down and are going nowhere, where the bar is just too low. The separation you have to have from these things is vital. It's crucial. It's urgent. It's a priority. It is not something you can keep in your life any longer. It is something to be focused on, dealt with, and cut out of your life, cropped out of your life as quickly as possible. And we can take all of that time and that energy and that pain and that chaos and that drama, and we can throw it all in the brew of something that smells delicious. And from 100 miles away, people will be able to smell this brew and they'll know this person is at least trying to get it all together. This person is focusing and owning up on what they have to do. This person isn't quitting. This person is still adding ingredients. This person is determined to get this brew right. I salute anyone with that mindset. I salute you for that mindset. Because I believe whoever's listening to this, you've overcome this. And if you haven't, you will. It is a scary, dark thing to be attached to things like jealousy and resentment. And there's just no place for that in a person who deserves to grow and have every opportunity as everyone else without having to be attached to all these people, places, and things and put over you all of that burden to be able to do it the way other people did it. Do it the way you need to do it. Do it the way you need to do it. Detach and separate from any other notion than that. And start attaching on to ownership and accountability of yourself. If you ground it in values and self-love, it will give you the confidence to do it. And that's all you're looking for. It's the confidence to move forward and grab what is out there for you. Things that you can create on your own to get momentum. Not because you deserve it, but because you earned it. And there's no greater feeling to get something that you truly wanted out of life. And you went through the fires, you crossed the volcano, and earned it. You're better than jealousy. And you're certainly better than resentment. Your mission for today is to focus on whatever it is, whoever it is, whatever place it is, that puts you in a place where you feel as if you are jealous and resentful of other people. To focus on, are there any times that you feel like you wish you had what other people had? Are there any times where you feel when you open up your social media, when you're going through your feed, are you looking at other people in their lives and what they're doing and you're happy about it? Or is there a few people where no matter what they're doing, you always find yourself looking at them and saying they don't deserve that? They haven't earned that. I wish I had that. When you go shopping, do you occasionally ever look at someone and say, wow, I wish I looked like that, or I wish I had that car? Basically, your mission is identify any scenarios upon which you feel a person brings you some form of jealousy or resentment. And the resentment's a big one, because that one often leads to people who are extremely close to us, like family members and co-workers. And if you go to church, people around you are the people that you resent. And why do you do that? How many people are there? Why do you resent these people? How is it affecting you? Today's mission is for you to ask yourself questions about jealousy in your life, resentment. Do they exist in your life? And if so, how can you start learning for yourself how to separate from that? What would it take for you to detach, separate, and turn that into a positive thing where you can say this resentment and jealousy is now something positive because I'm going to use it as motivation to do A, B, and C. So that's the mission. Who are you jealous of and why? Who are you resentful of and why? This is your day. You are here now. These are your moments. You own them. You are brave, bold, powerful. You do believe in yourself. You know you have more in the tank. You know the glass is half full. There is still more room for improvement. There is no end. Believe, believe, believe in yourself. You do believe in yourself. You do believe you can do whatever it takes to get the job done. You don't procrastinate. You don't embellish. You don't lie. You're true to yourself. Peace is in your mind. Peace is in your heart. Peace is in your body. It is definitely in your soul. You are greatness. You have purpose. Intentful purpose. You are here for a reason. You are ambitious. You are loving. You are kind, empathetic, compassionate. You are self-love. You have self-control, self-respect. You are joy, peace, freedom, happiness. You are connected to everything in this world and in this universe. And if no one has told you this today, I love you. You deserve to hear that. Salute to you all. The brave never fall. Learn, laugh, and level up.